these Marine Corps officers are training in a simulated combat scenario. It's the culminating event of the basic school.
Succeed or die! Succeed or die! Succeed or die!
As the Marine Corps' presence grows in the Indo-Pacific theater, where tension with China builds, and in the Middle East, where U.S. and allied forces battle Houthi rebels, the stakes for these new officers couldn't be higher. They're charged with making decisions that could make the difference between life and death. But at the basic school, these future leaders step into the shoes of the Marines they will be commanding, performing their roles in realistic combat exercises.
It's critical to understand what you're asking your Marines to do, from a standpoint that you actually know what you're doing, what you're trying to ask to be accomplished.
We spent 5 days inside the basic school, observing 5 different companies at various stages of training, all working toward the same goal, becoming leaders of Marines. Training happens here, at Marine Corps Base Quantico in Virginia, about 40 miles from Washington, a more than 55,000-acre installation where Marines have trained for over a century.
They call it the core of the Corps. Here, every new Marine officer receives 1,100 hours of classroom and field instruction during a rigorous 26-week program. The official name of this Marine Corps institution is simply the Basic School.
Today, about 1,700 officers graduate from the school every year before officially joining the fleet.
The Basic School is the entry-level training program for all officers that come through the Marine Corps, whether they come from the Commissioning Source of Officer Candidate School, the Naval Academy, ROTC, or even the warrant officers in the Marine Corps all come through the Basic School.
But the Basic School doesn't just train U.S. Marine officers. It also hosts members of foreign military partners.
Having international officers here is so critical. To be perfectly clear, we may find ourselves serving with them.
I'm from the Bahamas. I represent the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
How do you feel about getting the opportunity to come to TBS?
I feel it's a great opportunity, especially for internationals. It builds international relations and you also get to meet new people.
How do you like this weather?
The weather it takes some getting used to. As you can see, I'm fully clothed.
Good. On the Polypro, we have all that stuff.
On a frigid day in December, Davis and his fellow members of Bravo Company pick up the clothing and equipment they'll need for training.
All right, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, okay? So please pay attention. So what we're going to do is you're going to get your Gore-Tex top and bottom. You get 2 sleeping bags. You get 2 of them. Next, you're going to grab a gold compression bag. You're going to stuff it. All right, you're going to wagon wheel from the back side all the way around, please. Hey, sir. Hey, come on, let's go. Anything breaks, don't throw nothing away. Then you have to pay for it. All right, you're going to sign and date your IMR, please. And I'm going to collect those. And I just want to say thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you for what you do, okay? All right, all right.
Next thing is going to be your parka, your Apex parka, aka your Gore-Tex. Next up, we got our waffle tops and bottoms. It should have one of each, one top, one bottom. All right, next is going to be your camp stool. Hold out your camp stool.
I think getting right back into it's going to be a good thing for all of us. Coming from OCS. Most of us were coming off OCS, not with injuries, but most of us were pretty broken, pretty tired. So it was good to have that week off with Thanksgiving. But it's good to keep that momentum going. I didn't want to sit in an office for 6 months and then come back and then lose all that momentum that we've built. So I'm not looking forward to the cold. But I mean, I think being surrounded by everybody, just getting through the suck together, I think is going to be what essentially builds our camaraderie, and it's going to help us get through it. So
next up is going to be your neck gaiter.
What about the Marine Corps made you want to sign up?
My grandfather was a Marine, and that really meant a lot to me growing up. I had never really considered another branch ever. And so you look around and you see Marines, and the camaraderie is much more impressive than I've seen anywhere else.
Is your grandfather still with us?
No.
He's not?
No.
Did you ever talk to him about how you wanted to pursue this?
No, I didn't, but it was always in the back of my mind, so I just had to go for it, and here I am.
He was really your inspiration?
Absolutely.
Next up's gonna be your gold sleeping bag.
How are you feeling about the physical fitness test tomorrow?
It's nothing I haven't done before, so I'm ready for it. But it's gonna be cold. But that's about the only difference.
The next morning, in below freezing temperatures, Bravo Company arrives for its initial physical fitness test, which is made up of 3 parts. First, pull-ups.
The first event here is going to be your pull-up event. This is not a timed event. The intent is to execute a vertical dead hang pull-up. The intent is to avoid a pendulum-like motion that enhances the ability to execute the pull-up.
The Marines perform as many pull-ups as they can. The minimum standard varies by height, weight, and gender. According to the Marine Corps, pull-ups and push-ups are essential to building the upper body strength necessary to win battles.
How did the pull-ups go for you?
Pretty well. I was a little bit better recovered after OCS, so I got some more rest in, and it went better than I was even hoping. So.
How's the weather?
Good, actually. I'm from the north, so it's not too far off.
3, 4, 5.
It was pretty easy for me. Not hard. As you can see, I have a small frame, so it wasn't too bad.
9, 10.
The bar was a bit colder, so it was a bit more difficult, but it went pretty well.
16.
I got 20.
Feel good about that?
Absolutely. The sergeant told me I went a little too high on the pull-ups, going chest high instead of just the chin. So probably could have hit 23, but gotta get good form over the number.
How are you liking this weather?
Love it, love it.
The plank should be conducted as follows. Elbows should be bent and lowered to the ground so that the forearms are lying flat on the ground with the body in a straight line, similar to a push-up position.
Next, the Marines must perform a 2-minute plank.
Elbows should be aligned below the shoulders with forearms parallel to the body.
Planking, it's usually pretty mental after the first minute, so you just kind of push through the rest, just get that max.
And how are you feeling about the run?
Good. I know it's going to go well. I mean, once you go uphill, it's downhill, so just kind of take that in stride.
This is going to be your 3-mile run portion of your PFT. This is a timed event.
Finally, a 3-mile run.
Do I have any questions?
Ready? Go!
Men have 28 minutes to complete the run. Women have 31 minutes. Padron, Prendergast, and Davis all finished the run in time. In fact, every member of Bravo Company passed the PFT. But this was the last we'd see of Bravo Company, the newest class of Marine Corps officers in training at the basic school.
Proficiency is acquired in all weapons and explosives available to the rifle platoon in combat today. The platoon commander must have a working knowledge of the characteristics and capabilities of all weapons available to the infantry battalion and how to employ them, day or night.
Ceasefire! Reload. Weapons on safe. Let them hang. About face.
As the saying goes, every Marine is first and foremost a rifleman. At the basic school, 2 weeks are spent learning to handle and shoot firearms. Alpha Company is in week 8 of training.
All the Marines are trained on the M16 service rifle, which has been around for quite a bit of time, but it's the standard weapon system that every Marine utilizes when they get out to the fleet.
So I'm currently checking all the bores to make sure that there's no obstruction around the rifling that could cause an obstruction and further on maybe cause an explosion.
Stand by! Contact!
Before they fire live rounds, the Marines practice moving
Slow it down, look to your left, look to your right.
and shooting without ammunition.
So go ahead, lock your butts to the rear. Once I say click, go ahead and conduct the speed reload, all right? Click!
Is what they're doing today something that the Marines in the basic school look forward to?
It is definitely something that they look forward to. This is the first time with hands-on weapon system, putting rounds down range and practicing those skills.
You guys are good? You guys are comfortable with dry runs? All right, go ahead. Go to Sergeant Prosky at the red ammo table.
Hey, here's 2 more.
Almost a third of the way there.
Hey, grab those. My hat, not my hat.
They carry a standard 6 magazines on them, the number of rounds that they'll be shooting. I'd probably put it somewhere around, probably close to 100, maybe 150 rounds.
Face down range. Contact!
How is success sort of measured here today?
So success is measured by specifically how they score, whether rounds hit on the paper. Headshots are basically shots that are in the lethality area, so chest shots and face shots. Shots that are at the oblique could cause someone to stop moving, but wouldn't necessarily be lethally or incapacitating shots.
Make sure you're fluid. Don't think too much about shooting today. Just focus on the basics. Focus on 1, 2, 3, 4, okay?
Every Marine may be first and foremost a rifleman, but they're also trained to fire pistols. Specifically, the Sig Sauer M18.
So here we're looking at their target for pistol and pistol alone. Here in the center, all this counts as a 10 inside what we call is the bowling pin. The bowling pin is all this area inside here, which is mostly what everyone wants to try to score to get the most maximum points.
Bowling.
This is all the 10 area. After this, we do have the 8 ring. All shots in here counted as 8, and then so on and so forth. So here is 6 after the 6th ring. And then anything on the body is 4. Anything outside, basically off the body here, is considered a miss. They have to at least hit the body in one of the drills in order to get some type of score. Anywhere between 264 to 323, you're considered a marksman. A 324 to 363 out of 400, you are a sharpshooter. And then for expert is 364 between 400. Most of these lieutenants look forward to basically trying to get expert because they for some reason, they worry more about their little pistol badge than their rifle badge.
Why is it essential for officers to have this kind of a skill?
It helps a ton with your credibility, and it's hard to lead people if you don't know what they've been through and you haven't experienced those things. So coming out here, getting in good sets and reps is going to help you better be able to lead and plan, even though you may not be executing those things in the future.
Well, why the Marines? You know, you could have chosen any other.
Before joining the Marines, Second Lieutenant House graduated from the University of Notre Dame, where he performed as the school's mascot, the Leprechaun.
So yeah, why the Marines specifically?
Well, sir, just in the Marine fashion, they got there first. The first recruiter to contact me and talk to me was a Marine recruiter, came in there, saw everything on the walls. I was a wrestler. They had a poster of some wrestlers up, and they told me it was going to be tough. You know, they didn't tell me it was going to be easy or it was going to be a scholarship. They almost dissuaded me from doing it, and that just makes you want to go all the more, see how far you can go and push yourself.
Unlike every other U.S. military branch but the Space Force, the Marine Corps is succeeding in recruitment. It outperformed its goals in 2023.
What attracts people to the Marine Corps? They're sold on all the things that our recruiters lay out for them, the travel and the camaraderie and the friendship. And if the nation calls, and it likely will, that they are trained properly to go out and do the nation's bidding.
Officers compose about 12% of the Marine Corps, and with over 30,000 newly enlisted Marines, the basic school is where officers learn to command them.
The role of a Marine Corps officer is to lead his or her platoon to accomplish a mission, and they're underpinned by 3 critical skills: a student's ability to do tactical planning, a student's ability to deliver a combat order, and then their ability to execute it. That's what kind of provides the framework.
Takes it on back!
Carry on, carry on.
Colonel Reginald McClam serves as the basic school's commanding officer. A combat veteran with deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, he graduated from the school in 1998.
At the end of the day, you have the enormous responsibility and obligation to create an environment where they can thrive every day, and you can take their freaking talents and turn it into lethality against an adversary.
All Marine Corps officers are required to have a bachelor's degree. Upon joining the fleet, a second lieutenant's starting monthly salary is about 90% higher than an enlisted private's. And these new officers are charged with leading and giving orders to Marines who are older and more experienced.
The enlisted Marines, they do things, hard skill sets. Officers lead them and guide them and manage them in doing those things. There is definitely a manager and team leader aspect, but it's really about how do you create an environment for your subordinates to be successful.
And when you do this well with your Marines, they will move mountains for you, even when they know that you may be giving them an order that they may not come back from.
This is Fox Company. At week 13, they're about halfway through their time in the basic school, and they're preparing for one of the most critical tests, land navigation.
So students are conducting their final land nav. It's their final daytime grade event. The whole goal is to ensure that students can understand MGRS, the military grid reference system, can navigate between points, and we use the metric of finding these red boxes in the tree line to do so. They've got 8 boxes to find ideally. They have 7 hours to do so, and they've got a minimum of 6 to pass. The main resources they're using are their protractor, military topographic map, their compass, map pens, but other than that, they're doing land nav without the use of a GPS. So this is really testing their ability to operate without a global positioning system. If students can't find the minimum number of 6 to pass, then all they'll do is they'll remediate at another time. And we'll give them the basics of what they need to succeed, and then we can help coach them on to finding better attack points or maybe shooting a better azimuth and other things that'll lead them to success later on.
With the land nav test, there's more at stake than passing or failing. Their scores can impact the military occupational specialty, or MOS, assigned to each Marine.
Students at the basic school are graded on a variety of subjects, and all this is compiled to determine their score. Then the Marine Corps breaks up those students into thirds. If you fall within the top of your third, that is seen as more favorable, and there is a higher likelihood, not a guarantee, that you will get your first or second or third choice of MOS.
In 2018, 6 students at the basic school were expelled from the Marine Corps after they were accused of cheating on the land nav test.
All right, 100% good job. Yep, that's it. Why are you in disbelief?
Sorry, one of them, like, I was walking around and did not get that phone, but thank you.
How many points did you get?
We were supposed to get 8, and I got all 8.
How did it feel when you got the 8th point?
It felt pretty good. I sat down, had a peanut butter and jelly after, so yeah, rewarded myself. Definitely, there was a lot of like pressure on this because it was the final one, and it's like 8 points. We've only done 6 before, but yeah, this like a weight lifted almost because we've been doing other tests like to lead up to this, and they were only, like I said, 6 points. So this was the big one.
Do you feel like you got your workout in for the day?
For sure, yes sir. Definitely got a workout in today.
They come from all over the United States, from the service academies, from colleges and universities, through their platoon leaders class, or from OCS. All are here because more than anything else, they want to be Marine officers.
For Second Lieutenant Pigeon and the rest of Fox Company, their next test is the obstacle course.
You guys nervous? No. Good, don't be. This is
our classified one. And person.
This is on business side.
The course begins with a jump over a low vault, followed by overcoming a single bar using one of two techniques, the college boy roll or the chicken wing. Then parallel bars, which require both upper and lower body coordination. After keeping their balance on a horizontal log and hopping over another vault, the students jump and climb over a 6-foot wall. And after another series of vaults and navigating a double bar using the chicken wing method, it's time for the final test, a 20-foot rope climb.
You have 3 attempts to do the rope and go touch the log. You can't get in 3 tries, you're done.
There you go. Just like that. Stand up straight. Go.
Here we go, Lizzie. Move.
Two legs.
One more. Look at you. One more push. Let's go.
Stand and do it again. Stand up.
Touch.
There you go.
But that's not the end. All Marines have to complete the course twice, without a break.
Two more pulls.
3 minutes, 47 seconds. No assist.
I just got over pneumonia. Yeah, it was a little rough, but hey, we got it over with. We did it. We killed it.
Transition, let's go.
Second Lieutenant Pigeon has to wait until the end for her turn.
You're gonna be fatigued, so you don't want to like rush up there and then lose your grip and slip. So just take your time.
Go.
Hell yeah. All right, let's do it.
2, 3, 2, halfway, let's go.
Pigeon's first attempt was successful. One more to go. How you doing?
I'm good. Pretty gassed, but got it done.
Made that look pretty easy.
Oh, it was tough, sir. But it was good. We all passed, so it matters. Team.
You said you got some blisters on your hands?
Yeah, just like they're baby ones. Yeah, they're baby ones. Right there.
That's from the rope?
Yeah. But it's, yeah, I gotta work on my rope technique. At the end, I was like all arms, but it was good. It felt good. It feels good to be done.
After a while, I began to feel a change in myself. I was stronger, more sure of myself, more professional in everything I did.
I could sense a tremendous change in him. He was different, more mature. He knew himself, what he could do, how much he could give.
There were nights when he had to study. He'd lock himself up in the room and tell us all to stay away. And there were nights when he was gone, out on a field exercise or a tactical problem. I missed him. In a way, I envied him. He was really a part of something great.
This Marine Corps recruitment film was made in 1973, 4 years before the first gender-integrated class graduated from the basic school. Today, about 9% of active-duty Marines are female, and about 10% of Marine Corps officers are female.
Engineer team, we need to displace. Return to PB, over.
For Echo Company, just a few weeks further into training, they're dealing with an entirely different obstacle: the enemy.
Trying to take a snapshot real quick.
Did you guys make this?
Yep. Yes, sir.
How long did it take?
6-7 hours, give or take.
These officers are dug in defensive fighting positions for a simulated combat exercise known as offense-defense.
What do you use to dig the hole?
We have what's called E-tools. E-tools, it's a small shovel with a serrated edge. It kind of assists in getting through some of the roots. I know some Marines have got less lucky with roots, so the depth will vary based off of the ground you have.
Not all students in the basic school are new to the Marine Corps. Some of the newly commissioned officers are prior enlisted.
How long have you been in the Marines?
I've been in the Marine Corps about 12 years and 3 months. Leaving Morristown, Tennessee, I was either become a factory worker or get into various things, so I'm glad I chose this approach.
So what do you hope to accomplish now that you're about to enter this sort of next phase of your Marine Corps career?
That opportunity to lead Marines in some form or capacity. So that's my goal at this point. I do have a wife and 3 kids, so I am on a time crunch that I've given myself, but I'd love to be a captain, be over some Marines, and just try to make the Marine Corps a better place.
Still rank, do you have that MTO? 115. Shots out. Still rank, do you have that MTO?
Yeah, he said around 500 meters. Roger, copied 500, over.
Is offense-defense fun?
I think it is.
Why?
Because right now we're doing everything we learned in the classroom. So we've spent the last 2 or 3 weeks basically running through different scenarios and what we would do. So now we're actually out here and actually doing the thing.
Hey, engineer team, send that grid again, over.
Are you either of the targets, the one on the PB or? So for the first 2 days, I was just a rifleman, and then I switched to platoon commander. So really, from that rifleman position, I got to observe like all the little friction points. So you got a little more of that enlisted perspective.
5-3, 5-3, 5 actual, shots out. I say again, shots out, over.
The Marines of Echo Company spent the rest of the night in relative peace. But the next morning, they're preparing for an attack.
When was the last time you heard movement, over?
Roger, copy all. 5 actual out. If it was anything, he said no more than a 4-man team.
Okay. These Marines are aided by a foreign ally. A soldier in Greece's Hellenic Army and Special Forces, training with them in the basic school.
I always wanted to experience training with U.S. Marines. I always admired their operations. I was reading about them, so I always wanted to do this. I had the opportunity and I came here.
Rousakis is playing the role of a platoon sergeant. He's charged with relaying orders from the command post to the Marines playing the roles of enlisted riflemen on the front line. Instructors stand by to observe the action.
That was fun.
Yeah. It worked! Not to push up! It worked! The gun worked!
That was sweet. Everyone did his job great. We were ready, we were very silent. When they come, we already knew that they were coming. So we attacked them with heavy fires, the machine guns, and yes, we were.
It was a good time. It was like fish in a barrel. It was a good time.
Are you feeling any adrenaline?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was more excitement. Like we were waiting for it. We were getting cold.
Yeah.
It was time.
Then as soon as I saw people start sending rounds down range,
I just started sending that shit too. Those machine guns have me feeling kind of some type of way. Like,
do you think that this experience where you're playing kind of the role of an enlisted in this scenario, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's valuable?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's extremely valuable. The reason why is because you actually get to see what they go through, how it is digging that hole, what they have to deal with, the human factors associated with being cold, being on stand too, all of that stuff, all embodied in one package. It really gives you a clear 20/20 vision on what they deal with on a day-to-day. And I'll be honest with you, officers do the plan, but, the enlisted is the ones who actually get the fucking job done. So, I mean, I'll be honest and say it. So I have nothing but respect for them.
You got a fat dip in.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's my first one. I told one of my buddies he dips all the time, and I told him, hey, I'll take one off you, just one, during the defense if we win.
For Echo Company, this was their first taste of war.
That was a decisive victory for this defense.
For Delta Company, nearing the end of their training, it all comes down to the basic school's crucible, known as the war.
So this is the last exercise that they'll do, where they'll do a company-on-company exercise, 150 students against 150 students, basically building up all the basic skills that they've learned here at the school.
Recommend landing east to west. Break.
We took a bunch of casualties due to an immediate suppression mission, so we've come back here to conduct a medevac with a UH-60 Blackhawk. The students will need to understand how to do a medevac because regardless of what MOS they get, they will possibly have to do this at a range in garrison where they need to work with higher echelons of care to get individuals out.
What are you reading?
Right now I'm reading the book of Luke.
Anything did you go to Luke specifically for something that you're looking for?
No, that's just the name of my son.
Oh,
so
yeah?
Sometimes I like to just read that part of the scripture. Before coming to TBS, I went to Rome with my wife for a vacation. And so they have all the paintings of all the saints. And so I just thought it was cool. And then I hear that like his scripture is supposed to be like the most poetic and beautiful of all the scriptures. So I'm just kind of growing in my faith, getting into the Bible. So I figured I would just look into it while I was waiting.
Hey, check it. This one's got the roof as well.
For Delta Company's Bravo Group, the objective is to seize this city from the enemy. But first, they must attack from a wooded area across the road.
A2 is going to be assaulted by 2nd Squad. Support is going to be adjacent to them.
That's Hunter Killer. Okay. All right. Isolation suppression's moving up.
One more! Go!
Give me two!
1, 2,
2! Back up! Get that room!
We're not going upstairs.
Amid the chaos, the Marines must distinguish between the enemy and friendlies to avoid firing on their own teammates.
Are there friendlies in A1?
Don't need to shoot if you don't see an enemy.
When they started sending people over here, at first they had good obscuration with smoke, but then that kind of went away. And then they started taking shots from the hotel, which caused, I think, about half a dozen casualties in the street.
Hey, turn again. We go.
I've been shot.
Hey, hold her head. All right, going down.
I didn't want to be over the top to where it was almost too dramatic. I wanted to make it as realistic as possible, being the casualty, because I knew the more realistic I was, it would just reflect for realistic training. And so I wanted to make sure that my Marines were getting the practice they needed when applying the care that they needed to a casualty.
Dagger 6, this is Dagger 4 Bravo, ready for your 9-line transmission, over.
2 non-ambulatory. Line 6, secure. Line 7, air panel. Line 8, All U.S. military, break.
The next morning, after a successful attack, Bravo Group is now playing defense against an enemy counterattack that could begin at any moment.
How was it sleeping in here last night?
It's cold. We were pulling security, so we were up like every third hour, just watching for enemy in the tree line. But I think honestly, when you're sleeping in the sleeping bags, like it's pretty warm, I'd say.
Two of our buddies, they had to go up on the roof last night and it started raining on them, and they were up there the whole time, so they got pretty cold and wet.
Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, it's a really good time.
I think so, especially on guns.
What's your MOS?
I'm going to be a ground supply officer, so I wouldn't really be doing anything like this specifically, but it's nice just having a chance to do it one last time before I graduate here at TBS.
Do you think that there is a value to this mindset of an officer shouldn't ask a Marine to do anything that they aren't able to do themselves?
Absolutely. You shouldn't even sit down, let alone eat, let alone smoke a cigarette if that's what you do. You shouldn't do those things until you've ensured that your Marines have had that opportunity to do that themselves.
If I see more than 4, I'm shooting.
Okay.
What side of the road was that? Who's yelling? You hear that?
Yeah.
I don't see anything yet.
There might only be a single platoon over there. It sounds like there's 2 other platoons still moving down the trail.
Down the trail?
Just so you're tracking. So you point it that way?
How many? Greco! How many?
Hey Jeff, you might need to move the gun over here.
Oh my. Go! Go! Go, go! Hey, C4! Hey, enemy's moving right!
Right? Where's Gabe?
Despite the defense's onslaught of fire, some of the enemy force makes it into the city, albeit briefly.
All of you are dead!
Hey, watch the front! Watch the front!
Hey, you got out, you see it?
Yeah, no, I see the gun.
Yeah, fucking hit it. Hey, did the squad that just went out of that building to that side get killed? Hey, we got friendlies in Bravo 2!
Bravo 2?
When the enemy couldn't overtake the defense,
Ceasefire green.
the instructors called for a ceasefire.
So what's all this hooping and hollering?
It's probably us just telling the other team how badly we beat them, sir.
So the defense won?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good job, boys. Good job.
Woo! The spoils of war!
Spoils of war.
You're feeling better now after this?
Yes, yeah, I'm feeling better. Feels good to win the war. I mean, both sides were doing a great job, but it was good training. Yes, sir.
We won! Done. Fun time. Got the guns up. Living my dream.
You're going to intermingle with the group over there and everything. Be humble and be respectful because they did put in a lot of hard work. And they put in a lot of good hours out here, had some good actions, just as you have as well. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what's our motto?
Succeed or not! Succeed or not! Succeed or not! Succeed or not!
For this new class of second lieutenants, that motto will be put to the test after graduating from the basic school and joining the fleet.
A lot of them will be put on Marine Expeditionary units, and those are forward deployed units on ships floating around different areas in the world, waiting for a crisis to happen so that they can respond.
The basic school never closes. While one class graduates, another continues through the course. They know why they're here, to become one of the few good men who will lead.
When I got to the basic school, I was right where I wanted to be. The Marine officers I'd met had always impressed me by their professionalism, by the self-confidence they expressed, their pride in the Corps. To me, it was a challenge.